I thought of learning today the Halachot of Yom Tov, since we are very close to Shavuot. And although we learned some of them in the past, still it's always good to go over them again and see the Halachot of Yom Tov, see what we can do, what we can't do. And for maybe you were here on Shabbat, the later Shacharit? Very Shacharit. Okay, so we discussed in the later Shacharit about taking showers on Yom Tov. Can you take showers on Yom Tov? And we'll also discuss this B'ezrat Hashem, or smoking, which has the opposite view. We'll see it very soon. So we have Shabbat and we have Yom Tov. Both of them are very similar, right? We do Kiddush in the beginning, we do have the lie in the end, we light candles, but both of them are very similar, right? But the melachot of them are quite different. Shabbat, everything is forbidden. Any melacha, all of the 39 melachot are forbidden. And in Yom Tov, things which are connected to Ochel Nefesh, and hopefully soon we'll expand it and explain it. What does it mean? Ochel Nefesh are permitted. And before we even go to the halachot, we can ask, why is there a difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov? Both of them we have the idea of shvita, of not doing melach. What's maybe the spiritual idea behind them? So we have in the Gemara says that the Kedusha of Shabbat is Kiviyah V'Kaima. It's set, it doesn't move. While the Kedusha of Yom Tov can be changed. What does it mean can be changed? Let's say Beis Din decided Sunday is supposed to be Rosh Chodesh, right? On Sunday, this coming Sunday is supposed to be Rosh Chodesh. Let's say Beis Din decide Rosh Chodesh will be on Monday. So Shavuot will be a day afterwards, or the Pesach will be if Beis Din decide to add the month of Adar, so Pesach moves in the whole month, right? And even today, when we have a set calendar, it's only because the Beis Din many hundreds of years ago did Kiddush HaChodesh for all of the coming dates.
So you're saying there's no inherent Kedusha in a specific time other than the time as we designate it?
Yeah. So Shabbat, that's established from the days of the creation. Hashem created the world, 6 days, 7 days. He finished the creation on the 7th day, and from that day, Shabbat has holiness in it. And the holidays, we are the ones who put the holiness in it. So that's the difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov. So we can say that Shabbat also it's Yat Mitzrayim. Shabbat has two reasons. One is remembering Hashem creating the world, and one is Zeicher Yat Mitzrayim, remembering Hashem taking us out of Egypt. The moment Hashem took us out of Egypt, He did it by Himself. The moment of Hashem coming down and killing all of the Bechorot, no help of Noah. Even Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron didn't lift up the stick, didn't lift up nothing. Hashem was there by Himself without any other messenger. That's Pesach, right?
Similar thought in Rambam only.
That Hashem does every.
Belief in Hashem was based actually on Yitziat Mitzrayim. One of the
also the Kusar also mentioned that we believe in Hashem because of Yitziat Mitzrayim. So we believe in Hashem creating the world because of Yitziat Mitzrayim. But the moment of going out of Egypt, Hashem did it by Himself without any other help of no one. Yam Su for all the rest of the Makot. So Moshe had a small part in that. He lifted up his stick, right? The nation had to cross inside. Moshe had to go up to the mountain to get the Torah. We had to count 49 days in order to receive the Torah. We built Sukkot, or maybe we dwelt inside the Sukkah on the way out of Egypt. So we had a part of it. So that's the essence of the difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov. Shabbat is a day where we say, Hashem, you just remember what you did. Nothing of us. We don't take any part in creation on Shabbat. In Yom Tov, we say we want to connect that day for us. So we do things which connect the day for us. Now, how do we connect to things? I think a wise doctor once said that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You're a doctor, so I guess you agree with that. So we connect. We see many things. We connect to things by food. Why food? First, it's tasty, right? We all enjoy a meal in Caesarea on the sunset. But also the idea of food is we take something physical and really make it to be part of us. We can enjoy other things, but food is something which we really take something physical and uplift it and make it to be part of a human being. And the idea of the Kedusha of Yom Tov is that we take a, maybe you could say, regular day and bring the holiness into that day. Obviously, it comes from Hashem, we uplift it to Hashem, but we have our actions in it.
More than that Hashem rested on the 6th day, so we rest, but Yom Tov is more about simcha and enjoying ourselves.
Right. So simcha is always means connecting. Simcha means when we try to reach something and we manage to get to it. So I'm happy when I have a goal, I set a goal, and I get closer to the goal. On Yom Tov, we get closer to the goal of reaching holiness, and so that's also why we have simcha. That's a spiritual meaning of it. Now,
It's interesting to talk about Ochel Nefesh, and we talk about we say about a food, even if we get it on a Sunday, we say,
on Shabbat,
for
right.
Shabbat. We don't use, do we use that expression for Yom Tov?
Shabbat is something which is all the week gets its essence from Shabbat. So that's why already on Sunday we do buy things for Shabbat.
We're talking about the importance of the food for the Yom Tov enjoyment, and yet we don't.
No, also in Yom Tov we have idea of enjoying Yom Tov, and in some aspects even more than Shabbat. Let's say the clothes of Yom Tov should be nicer than the clothes of Shabbat. In the beginning, before I used to wear a suit, before when I was still Israeli, so and I had already a suit because of weddings, which I did. So I didn't wear it on Shabbat, but for Yom Tov, I wore it. And then, unfortunately, I became a non-Israeli, or some aspect non-Israeli, so now I have to wear a suit every day. Every Shabbat, I mean. Okay, now let's see the difference in the Torah. Okay, so in the Torah, we also have a difference in the words of Shabbat and the words of Yom Tov. It says in Shabbat, what, for example, Yom HaShvi Shabbat LaHashem Elokecha, lo ta'aseh kol melacha. So anything which is considered a melacha, and we know that from the Mishkan, what's considered a melacha, what's not considered a melacha. So anything which is a melacha is forbidden on Shabbat. But on Yom Tov, we have a few other terms. We have one pasuk in Vayikra. It says, Mikra Kodesh Yelachem, it will be a day of calling it holy. Kol melacha lo yaseh bahem, very similar to Shabbat. So you aren't allowed to do any melacha. Well, the Torah finishes this pasuk. The Torah continues a bit more and says, Ach asher yachel lechol nefesh hu levado yaseh lachem. Hold a second, stop a second. Things which will be eaten for anyone. And we'll explain soon the term, hopefully, what does it mean, lechol nefesh? So you can do melacha, for food that can be eaten to any soul. We'll explain the term soon. What does it mean, lechol nefesh, for every soul? And in another place, the Torah also says, Mikra Kodesh Yelachem, similarly, all this day Kodesh, also in Vayikra, and Mikra Kodesh Yelachem, Kol Melechet Avodah Lo Ta'asu. So compared to Shabbat, where the Torah says Melacha, here the Torah says Melechet Avodah Lo Ta'asu, or Melacha of work. Melacha of work. Okay, so we have Melacha of Ochel Nefesh, something which is for Ochel Nefesh, for food, is good, and something which is in Avodah, it is forbidden. Okay, so what's the difference between Avodah and Ochel Nefesh? Between them. Some will say, cooking can take a long time, right? If you don't live in the state where you take something out of the freezer, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and eat, so it could be a melacha, right? It could be making food, cutting onions. So what is the difference between a melacha and Ochel Nefesh? The way to differentiate between them, a typical melechet avodah, is something which is usually done with a lot of people or for a long time. When we pick fruit, sometimes I can pick a fruit just for now. Okay? But when I pick fruit, it's usually in the field. We pick, we have a lot of workers, or maybe if it's just me by myself, but we have quite a few workers picking all the orchard, and we'll have it that's the end of the season. We picked all of the oranges, and we keep it in the fridge, or wherever it is. So we do this melacha for a long time. And melechet ochel nefesh typically is done for this immediate meal or the next day. So that's typically the difference between them. Now, this definition is a definition. For example, what happens if I want an orange for now? Okay, I want orange for now. I'm on Yom Tov. I see this nice orange on the tree. Typically, oranges we pick at one go for a long time. But now I have one tree only. I'm not in a field. I have one tree. What can I eat? Can I pick this orange on Yom Tov or no? And it's to eat it now. So what do you think? I have a tree. I see this orange in front of me. Can I pick it or no? On Yom Tov. So the answer is obviously no. The answer is no. We do have a machloket. Is it midoraita or derabanan? Okay, some Rishonim say, since it's for now, it's melechet ochel nefesh. Although typically you do it for a long time, but since now it's melechet ochel nefesh, midoraita is permitted. Our sages said, Chazal said that you're not allowed to do it in Yom Tov because they were concerned that if I start picking one fruit, I'll start picking many fruit. So they said no, only things which are ochel nefesh, only 7 melachot, which is cooking, shechting, taking out, lighting fire, turning off the fire, only those things that are permitted to do in Yom Tov. And some Rishonim, like Rashi, Ramban, Smag, and the Ran, if I remember correctly, they hold that it's the right. So as soon as we define a melacha, that by definition it's something which is done for many days, I'm not allowed to do it in Yom Tov. So that is the difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov. So we defined up to now the difference between Shabbat and Yom Tov. We defined the difference between melechet avodah, melacha of work, and melechet ochel nefesh. And we have a few more rules Yom Tov. A, that the malacha is a definition. By definition, picking fruit is forbidden. By definition. By definition, hunting animals is forbidden on Yom Tov because usually I hunt animals for the next few weeks. Hunt a few now, and then I keep them in my house. So I hunt them for a few weeks, not in the house, in the garden, right? So as soon as we have the definition of the melacha, it is forbidden on Yom Tov. Do we have also the opposite? By definition, cooking is permitted on Yom Tov, right? So what's cooking? Warming up food. Changing the state of a food. By definition, I'm allowed to light a fire because if I can't light a fire, so how can I cook? Or if I need to cook, I need to bring, usually they didn't have fridges on those days, so they went to the shochet, they took the chicken to the shochet teched the chicken on the spot, they took the chicken back home, they cleaned the chicken, and then they cooked it. Bringing the chicken to the shochet there and back and home means that we transfer, we do hotza'ah, we move things from Reshut HaYachid to Reshut HaRabbanim, from a private zone to a public zone. So is this by definition hotza'ah is permitted, or is permitted just for cooking? Torah says a rule, mitoch, by taking out and הוצאה and הבערה, מתוך שהותרו לצורך, הותרו נמי שלא לצורך. Since those melachot are permitted for Yom Tov, we can also do them not for Yom Tov, okay, not for cooking. Okay, not for cooking, sorry, not for Yom Tov. It has to be for Yom Tov, but we can also do it not for cooking. Okay, so I'll give you an example. One Yom Tov, I was in the base, and we wanted to take a walk around the base. And it meant going out of the Eruv, or out of the fence of the base. And I take with me on this walk on Yom Tov a siddur, I'm not sure, a book, or something with me. I have to make sure, since I'm going out of the Eruv, I need to have nothing in my pockets. Why not to carry on Yom Tov? Although it's not for eating, right? If I take with me a book, I'm not going to eat the book unless I'm a bookworm, right? So we have this rule, מתוך שהותרה לצורך, since we are allowed to move things for cooking, I'm allowed to move them also, שלא לצורך, also for something which there's no need for eating on Yom Tov. Okay, but here comes there needs to be some kind of need for it on Yom Tov. For example, I decide I'm bored. Okay, I'm bored. I decide I'm going to play with fire. Okay, and obviously my parents aren't watching me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing with fire on Yom Tov, right? Am I allowed to play on fire on Yom Tov?
No, because
No.
there's no purpose.
There's no purpose for it, right? So even when we light fire on Yom Tov, it needs to be for something which is purpose. It needs to be like Ochel Nefesh. When I carry things from place to place, it needs to be for some purpose or some benefit which I get from it on Yom Tov.
Or warm the house.
What?
You can
Oh,
light a fire
I can
for-
warm the house, maybe to read, so it has to be something which we benefit from it on Yom Tov. Not only it needs to be something which benefits from it on Yom Tov, here comes the definition of Ach Asher Yaseh Lechol Nefesh. The Torah uses here very strange words. What does it mean? Ach Asher Yaseh Lechol Nefesh Hu Levado Yachel Lechol Nefesh Hu Levado Yaseh Lachem. What does it mean? Something which will be eaten by any person or any soul. But what does it mean? Be eaten by any soul. Food. Typically, people eat food. What does it mean? Be eaten by any soul. So I think just learn from here, and maybe that's the simple meaning of the pasuk. It needs to be something that most people enjoy. Most people benefit. So food, everyone enjoys food unless a terrible cook. But most people enjoy food. So since most people enjoy food, I can cook something. I can even cook something which is very expensive and from the French kitchens. And although only very few people will taste it because it's so expensive, because other people also, if they had the money, they would also eat it, also enjoy it. Can't do something which most people don't enjoy. Most people don't see it as a need. Most people don't appreciate it. Here we start getting closer to smoking. Beforehand, we'll mention something called the mugmar, something close to smoking. In the times of the Gemara, I think even today you can buy it in those nature or maybe Eastern shops. They used to have this essence or spices or leaves, incense that they used to place on the fire, and it used to make this nice smelly
Like
smoke.
the Torah.
Oh, exactly. Now, not everyone enjoyed it, or not everyone saw it as a need. Some people saw it as what do you need it for? So the Gemara says that you aren't allowed to light mugmar on Yom Tov. You aren't allowed to light those incense on Yom Tov. We can light a fire on Yom Tov, so why can't you light those incense on Yom Tov? Says the Gemara, even when we light something, it needs to be something which most people enjoy or appreciate it. But this mugmar, only a few people like it.
Was it permitted in the Beit HaMikdash?
Yeah, Beit HaMikdash has different
halachas.
Yeah. Right. I mean, you can shecht on Shabbat, you can bring korbanot on Shabbat.
Anything that you need to fulfill the
korbanot you can do
and the
right. You can do it on Shabbat. So the Gemara says you aren't allowed to do Gemara on Yom Tov. And that brings us straight to smoking. Are you allowed to smoke on Yom Tov? Are you allowed to smoke on Yom Tov? Are you allowed to smoke also on Tuesday? So we assume that you could happen, yeah. Since we can't tell people you aren't allowed to smoke on Tuesday or Wednesday, but let's first discuss Yom Tov. Let's discuss Yom Tov. Now, just that mugmar, there's a machloket rishonim. Is it so the Raita or the Rabbanan? Rabbinical, that you aren't allowed to burn incense for mugmar, or which might seem the Raita, or maybe it's just rabbinical. Okay, because after all, the Torah permitted to light fire. So maybe the Torah said everything you can light, and just Chazal said, don't light it for mugmar. But as we said, it seems that even from the Torah, you aren't allowed to light mugmar on Yom Tov. So if I ask people 50 years ago, maybe 100 years ago, people saw smoking as something healthy, right? People drink the tabak, as some of it says in the Mishnah Berurah, because they had this suck in, so maybe so. And it used to be considered healthy. The cough, all the phlegm comes out. And it's thought it was healthy. I'm not sure why. But so obviously, if we ask rabbis from 100 years ago, are you allowed to smoke on Yom Tov? And the answer will be yes, of course. Everyone enjoys smoking. Everyone enjoys it, right? Everyone should enjoy smoking. If someone doesn't smoke, it's only because he doesn't have enough money to buy for himself a cigarette, right? Today, when we see how dangerous it is, and most people do not enjoy the smell of cigarettes or any smoke, and Baruch Hashem, sorry, less and less people are smoking. So, are we allowed to smoke today? Well, the question maybe should be, is someone who smokes on Yom Tov, is he validating Isur Midoraita or Isur Darabanan? That's where he gives the answer. It's very, very hard to permit smoking on Yom Tov. Of course, usually don't want to say you're not allowed to smoke on Yom Tov because people not always will listen to us and they'll find a way. So maybe it's better to be silent about it. But it might be, for sure, it seems like it will be Isur Darabanan and even might be an Isur Deoraita to smoke on Yom Tov. Especially for someone who doesn't need that so much. Okay, that's he can wait one day
Well,
past
but it's
smoking.
an addiction. We need it.
On Shabbat, do they smoke?
Addiction.
On Shabbat, they don't smoke, right?
Hashem.
So if they don't smoke on Shabbat, so how could they smoke on Yom
There
Tov?
were a lot of things.
But if it's permitted, so it's permitted. If it's forbidden, it's forbidden. Okay, so if someone is addicted and there's pikuach nefesh, okay, that's I don't think it's such a case, but people think it's permitted, and then they say, okay, it's permitted, so I need to smoke. But if they realize it's forbidden, so it is forbidden. That brings us to the shower, to taking showers on Yom Tov. And that's more or less the opposite of smoking. And the Shulchan Aruch writes that we don't boil water on Yom Tov, to take a shower on Yom Tov. Don't boil water on Yom Tov to take a shower on Yom Tov. Why? Because not everyone enjoys the showers, and only people used to have a shower once a week or once, I'm not sure how often, but obviously not every day. So boiling water on Yom Tov, it's something which isn't needed for anyone. No one needs to take a shower every day. So just wait one day. Don't have a shower on Yom Tov. Wait a week. In any case, your shower day, move it one day to here or to there. The Shulchan Aruch permits that it's permitted to boil water before Yom Tov and wash all of your body on Yom Tov. Shulchan Aruch here is maker. Water which was heated up before Yom Tov. Water which was heated up in a dud shemesh by the sun, that's considered like water that was heated up before Yom Tov. According to Shulchan Aruch, people of Sfaradim, you're allowed to take a shower on Yom Tov and wash all of your body on Yom Tov if the water was heated or by the sun or before Yom Tov.
It's a dud shemesh. The water is being constantly heated as long as there's
right, but because yeah,
and if you remove in the dud or in the water systems in America also, as you remove water, new water is being added, cold. So
right. So in the States, when you have a dud kashma, that's a bit more complicated. But here, at least in Israel, when we have a dud shemesh, so we have a few reasons to be makel with it, at least in Yom Tov, and therefore I said it's considered like water that is heated up before Yom Tov. And why is that? You might be considered the drama. I'm not by hand putting water inside the dud. I'm just taking water to have a shower. And happens to me that water comes in. Is it considered the grammar? Not considered the grammar, good question. But it's also maybe considered as a psik reisha. The psik reisha, the nichale, but it's not something which I do it with a straight action purpose. And also, what's the halacha of heating up by the sun? Is it the Doraita, the Rabbanan? Might be. Okay, so how do we consider Dud Shemesh? Therefore, at least we can consider the Dud Shemesh for Yom Tov, for this case, as water which was heated up before Yom Tov. So according to Shulchan Aruch, you can have a shower with water that was heated up on Yom Tov. The Ramah says that, and maybe it's the idea of coming from Europe, that you can wash only parts of your body, not all of your body at the same time. And the logic of it is first, who needs a shower every day? And if we don't need a shower every day, so according to some Rishonim, having a shower, warming up, boiling water on Yom Tov is a su midoraita for some Rishonim. So boiling water on Yom Tov might be su deoraita. So according to the Ramah, we don't wash all of the body at once on Yom Tov, because maybe I'll start boiling up water, and that might be a su deoraita. So only you can wash only parts of the body. You can wash. Okay, so that's according to the Ramah. Nowadays, it's a machloket achronim. Many achronim say, well, we need to shower every day, right? In this weather outside, maybe some of us shower twice a day, especially when we have a Yom Tov and a Shabbat. We can't stand the whole day without taking a shower. It's just too hard. For us, it's davar hashaveh lekol nefesh. Even if I do heat up the water, take a match, and transfer fire from one place to another place, then put the whole pot of water on fire to have a shower, to take a shower, that might be in our days permitted midoraita level. It's a normal thing to take a shower every day. Therefore, many Achronim say that we can take showers on Yom Tov, especially when the water is heated up before Yom Tov or in the Dud Shemesh. Right? So that's halacha for that. If someone wants to be machmir, to be more careful, so he can wash between washing parts of his body, he can turn on and off the tap. That's the way you don't wash all of your body at the same time. Okay, you wash all of your body, but not at the same time, not in one go. Okay, that is about taking showers in Yom Tov.
Soap or soap.
Bar soap, no, okay, exactly. Yeah, like bar soap, you should use liquid soap.
Squeeze out.
Right, schita, if someone has long hair, should be careful with schita. And yeah. Let's just go to one more halacha about cooking on Yom Tov. How do we cook on Yom Tov? Now, we said that the Torah says, anything which you can be eaten for everyone needs to eat, you can eat. You can cook on it on Yom Tov. The Rambam says that on one hand, we want Yom Tov to be a day of happiness, a day of simcha. You enjoy the food, and you don't eat cold food. I think most people can taste the difference, or many people at least, can taste the difference between fresh salmon and old salmon, or fresh schnitzel and old schnitzel. Yeah, some fresh steak and preheated steak. So Chazal said, on one hand, we want you to enjoy Yom Tov. Okay, enjoy Yom Tov and eat good food in Yom Tov. On the other hand, Chazal said, we don't want people to be busy all of Yom Tov cooking, and then they'll be busy. It's not a day of holiday or vacation. It's just a day of work. So can do on Yom Tov, we can do in Yom Tov only things that we couldn't do before Yom Tov. I just want to read it inside in the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so we'll just read one seif in Af Tzadihei. The first seif in Yom Tov. כל מלאכה אסורה בשבת, אסורה ביום טוב. As we mentioned, the Shulchan Aruch says anything which is forbidden on Shabbat is forbidden on Yom Tov. חוץ ממלאכת אוכל נפש, besides of something which is to do with cooking. חוץ מהוצאה והעברה, taking out and lighting fire. וכן מכשירי אוכל נפש שלא היה אפשר לעשותם אתמול. Something which I need instruments to make the food and I couldn't do it before Yom Tov, so I'm allowed to do it on Yom Tov. I'll give you an example. Let's say I had a knife, cutting knife, and I'm cutting now my pieces of steak, and on Yom Tov this knife broke. Yom Tov this knife broke, or something got blunt, and I can't cut my steak now. So I couldn't sharpen it before Yom Tov because my knife was fine on Yom Tov. Only today, all of a sudden, it broke. So according to Shulchan Aruch, if I couldn't fix up my tools or before Yom Tov, I can do it on Yom Tov itself. Rama here is machmir. Rama says, ויש מחמירים, sama מחמיר, אפילו באוכל נפש עצמו, even if אוכל נפש itself, if the food itself, כל שאינו מפיג טעם כלל, if it stays the same, the exact same, on the day before Yom Tov, or if you cook it on Yom Tov itself, it's the same thing, a filter fish. I think a filter fish, there's no difference in the taste if you cook it the day or yesterday, it's the same taste. So therefore, you should be machmir, and you shouldn't cook on Yom Tov, says the Rama, food that I could cook on the day before Yom Tov, and the taste would be the exact same on Yom Tov itself.
So I guess certain types of vegetables are only good the day you cook.
Exactly. And not just vegetables. Many foods, the Rama says, only if the taste doesn't change at all. Chicken, for example, schnitzel. We all know after a few hours that the taste changes. Okay, the steak changes right after a few minutes. Maybe roast will keep its flavors for a long time. So anything which won't taste the same if I cook it before Yom Tov and I cook it on Yom Tov, I can cook it on Yom Tov. And the Rama continues. If I have something which would taste the exact same, and for some reason I did not do it beforehand, I had vegetables, I made stir fries, I wanted to make stir fries, let's say the taste the same, and for some reason I did not do it on the day before Yom Tov, so the Rama says you can do it with a shinui. Okay, so you can do it, cook it on Yom Tov with a shinui. Okay, so that gives us more or less the rule of what can we cook on Yom Tov, and it gives us also the idea. Yom Tov, on one hand, we want it to be a day that we enjoy the food and we benefit from the food on one hand, and on the other hand, we want Yom Tov to be a holiday. That we won't be busy the whole time, moving between our kitchen. So it's keeping the balance more or less. What can we cook beforehand? What can we prepare beforehand? And what do we really need for the day of Yom Tov? So we have a special holiday. So
Can't light a fire.
we don't light a fire. That's midrabanan. Okay, we can transfer fire from place to place. So midrabanan, we don't light a fire, but we maybe not light, but we can transfer it. Okay.